Hello, I'm Mariam, and today I'm going to attempt to begin to demystify management in digital. Management has traditionally been very unpopular in the digital sector. Well, have I been popular? I don't know. You'd have to ask those who've worked with me. There's one or two in the audience. I never wanted to be a manager. I was a technical person, and I loved technical work because it was black and white, and the days would go quickly, and there were no people dramas. But I got to a crossroads in my life and in my career, and I thought, right, I've got to make a choice now. I've got two job offers. One was to set up a new GIS department, that's Geographical Information Systems, and I know at least one person in the audience knows what that is, and services, and one was to go deeper into technical work and write longer pieces of SQL code. But I had to dig deep and think, do you know what, even though I'm technical, it takes me ages to write long pieces of code. Some people just knock it out naturally, and I just sit there for ages. So I decided to choose setting up a new department, because I knew that even though I didn't have world-class communication skills in my late 20s, I still had the best my geeky sector, Geographical Information Systems, had to give. So, and I thought by using my communication and organisational skills, I could take this niche sector and further it and make it mainstream. So, management. How many people do we have in management here? Like any kind of management? Don't be shy, I know we are unpopular. Okay, not so, that's all right. And how many developers do we have? Oh, some people are both, that's interesting. And how many kind of designer type people do we have? Cool, okay, so roughly a third, that's cool. So here are some roles in management. Specifically, they are roles that I have had myself personally. I'm older than I look. So what I would say is that management in digital, we have different types of management like Scrum product owners, Scrum masters. There's also, I've been a GIS manager and had normal kind of roles, well, not normal roles, but like head of project management, advisory roles, CEO, COO. So what I would say is that at different points in our life, we feel like doing different roles, and we have different focuses. It's not just a linear path, right? I'm going to be a Scrum Master, I'm going to be a product owner, I'm going to be head of development, I'm going to be a COO, then I'm going to be a CEO. It doesn't work like that, really. I don't think life works like that. I think sometimes we go up, sometimes we come back down, and sometimes we go sideways, depending on where we are at in our life. Sometimes we might have just got small children, and you know what? We just have other focuses for a few years while they're small, and we don't want that much responsibility. Sometimes we have got loads of hobbies that are just really exciting, and we just rather focus on our hobbies. Sometimes we're like, oh my God, I'm just going to eat, sleep, breathe this product, and in fact, I'm the only one to be CEO. I'm going to do it because the other people are just really not nice. So actually, I'm going to take over and be CEO, which I've done before. So these are roles that I've done. So when I speak today, I'm kind of speaking from the perspective of being, I think being an administrator is a form of management. From being an administrator, I've even been a receptionist, all the way to CEO. So a bit of context. My background is a bit geeky. It's in geophysics and geology. I come from a scientific background, and I've worked in mobile design development, software as a service, and software. I don't think management and leaders in the digital technology sector are great leaders. On the whole, I'm sure the ones in this audience are amazing. I think we really need to focus on leadership and improve our management skills, because we're like great developers or great designers, And we didn't, we learnt to code, we learnt to draw, we learnt to design. We didn't learn leadership, we didn't learn management. And we happened to have a great idea, and we thought, great, okay, I've got a bit of business acumen and entrepreneurial flair, I'll start up a company. And then, oh my God, I'm paying people, there are people around me, and then you're all on a journey together with a group of people. Nobody taught us leadership skills. Nobody taught us relationship building. Nobody taught me to stand in front of an audience and speak. I spent the best part of 4 years looking down a microscope at cross-section of rocks or climbing mountains. Nobody taught me how to do profit and loss. So I had to make it up as I go along. And that's why I think leadership and management isn't always great. And often people in the companies can suffer, ordinary people can suffer from bad management. So what am I doing now? A little bit about what I'm doing now. Now I work for Everyone Mobile. We are a technology company working in international development. So what is that? What's international development? We basically work on social impact solutions, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa, but all over the world. We're half based in Brighton, half based in Cape Town, and we've got satellite offices in Africa and Washington. So we work on, what does social impact mean? We are the tech company in big programs to do with social behavior change, digital health literacy, financial literacy, gender justice, a lot of mobile health, helping mothers with nutrition. In fact, actually this photo of me having lunch, I do get to pop to Africa once in a while, which is exciting. I was in Tanzania working with this NGO, and we were part of a global project called M-Nutrition. And we were producing 1,000 text messages and 1,000 voice recordings to be publicly disseminated to mothers for pregnancy and maternal health care. So the voice recordings are for people who don't know how to read. So those are the type of projects we work on. It's really, really interesting, really super interesting. We particularly specialise in backward compatible websites. So like on all our websites, you can also go switch to light, and we specialise in low connectivity, low data areas to reach people in remote areas. So that's a little bit about Everyone Mobile. Safe in the City, I'll talk a little bit about Safe in the City. I'm on the advisory board of Safe in the City. We're London-based, and we have an iOS and an Android app. And with the app, you can navigate the safest route to get somewhere. So rather than the quickest route, it's the safest route. What does that mean? We ingest daily deployment metropolitan risk data, so we can see the crime hotspots along your route. But what's a particular feature about Safe in the City is you can map sexual street harassment, particularly. So as you're going along, because it's not such a big problem in Brighton, but in London it's a big problem. So as you're walking, when someone catcalls you, gropes you, whatever, all of this is the social norm, particularly for girls, unfortunately. So when you're walking along, you can put a pin on the map, and there's a filter of like catcalling or groping, and you start to see a measles map emerging because around London. So that's what Safe in the City does, and I love it because it combines mobile design, development, social impact, gender justice, which is all my favourite things together. And I'm on the board of Wide Sussex. You probably all know what Wide Sussex is. So that's what I'm doing now. Management is a thankless task. What do I mean by that? Designers, you can design beautiful designs, aesthetically pleasing, silky smooth UX. There are people smiling. Yeah, I design that. Yes, yeah, we can see it. We can see it. It's tangible. We can celebrate it. Developers, you can develop clean code. It works smoothly. You can break innovative boundaries. There is evidence. We can all click the buttons. We can see it. It is tangible. We can even celebrate it. Great management, everyone does what they're supposed to do, when they're supposed to do it, how they're supposed to do it. There is nothing to see. Bad management, you can see it. You can clearly evidence it. Profits, there's no profit in a project, can't pay salaries, companies go bust. That is why I say management is a thankless task, and we are the invisible glue that holds things together. Right, so I've just attempted, like, nobody ever knows what management is. Like, what is it? What is everybody doing? Like, people are managing, but what does that mean? I've attempted to put some words on a slide here to kind of demystify it. The thing is, I'm not sure everyone really knows what these words mean. It would take me like, this is a whole term of lectures. What is problem solving? What is negotiating? But they're really, really valuable skills. And I think if you were, you need to be multi-talented to be in management, particularly in the technology sector. You need to be able to go into a situation and pick up 70% of what's going on and instantly make an impactful decision for that project. You need to be confident. People just don't know what we're really doing. Like, someone said, timesheet your last hour. You go, oh great, I just designed this amazing UX of onboarding onto an Android app. You ask a manager, timesheet your last hour, they'll go, because they've just done 10 of these things over 6 projects in the last hour, and they're like, I don't even know what I did. So they end up just not really explaining what they've just done, and everyone thinks they've not done anything. I would say, ask all the management points that you come in contact with, the project managers, your COO, or ask them what they do. Ask them to teach you. We all need these skills. These are leadership skills. We all need them in our life. Time management. We need to understand work-life balance. Coordination. We need to coordinate our children. Profit and loss. We need to understand our own personal finances. You can't get away without developing your leadership skills, because you need them in whatever role you are in. When you're a designer, you might be presenting to a client. You need fantastic interpersonal skills and communication skills. At any point, you need these skills. And there are some, controversially, I think, there's sort of like a theory in management that you can take a layer of management out and everything would be totally fine. Like, they get paid loads, what are they doing? But I believe if you take a layer of management out, there's disaster. There's an absolute disaster happens. Like, clients become unhappy. You will find that you can't expand businesses. You can't make profit on projects. Nobody knows what's going on, and it's all just one big mess. Again, all this hard work and effort that management puts in behind the scenes, you don't see it. We've got a storm coming, and it's called Brexit. And great management is going to ride that storm and keep the ship afloat in 2 years. They're going to be strategically planning. They're going to be renegotiating your supplier contracts. They're going to be, and they're going to do all of that kind of stuff, and they're going to stress out to the max. And they're going to do it. And every day you go into work, and they'll have a smile on their face and pretend like nothing's happened, and there's no storm out there, and it's sunny every day. And that's what management does. That's what great management does. And you'll still be afloat in 2 years because it was just a bump that they planned for. They've got contingencies going on. That's the kind of thing that's going on behind the scenes. Poor management will just think everything's fine. We're not going to do any forward thinking. We'll just deal with it. We'll just respond in the moment. And actually, we'll see how companies do with that. So I say diverse set of skills, juggling all the time. Of course, there's a whole load of things we do. People say that it's really hard to find developers, really skilled senior developers, really skilled designers. But actually, after having recruited over 100 plus roles in the last decade, I think it's really, really hard to find management. It's really hard to find a Scrum product owner. It's really hard to find a fantastic Scrum master. It's really hard because you need to have all those skills and the technical aptitude. And that is very rare to find. And particularly in technology where you can't just have those skills generically, you have to have technical acumen. I don't mean you have to be able to write code, but you need to know the names of the softwares they're using and the detailed process that everyone is doing step by step and understand their needs. So that was, if you take a layer out, management would collapse. Okay, so what I really wanted to say today is I'd really like everyone to begin exploring, appreciating management. Like, what does that mean? Like, what is management? Ask people to tell you what it means. Ask them to do a little lunchtime talk and tell them what they do. Ask them to teach you about what it takes to run a company behind the scenes. Ask them to teach you how, how you have to make difficult decisions in order to pay everyone's salaries every month. I wanted to do this talk because I network a lot in the Women in Digital community, which is a fantastic, great community in Brighton. And I was just getting really sad because I just kept hearing administrators and project managers who are the only ones, and there's 18 technical staff around them, all sort of saying, well, you're an administrator, you're a management, you're not as important as a developer. You can be replaced easily. What are you doing? Of course you're not as important as a developer. We can find another administrator tomorrow. And it just made me really sad because I don't think anybody is more important than anyone in a company. I've been a receptionist, I've been the CEO, and I believe we all have completely different skill sets, and we should all learn to value and appreciate those skills, because it's only when you bring all those skills together that the magic happens. To be successful, everyone thinks it's easy, with the millennials and Facebook and all of this, it's easy, but actually it needs fantastic management, it needs fantastic designers, it needs fantastic developers, fantastic office managers, fantastic administrators, brilliant business development salespeople. All of them have to come together to make it happen. It's not just luck all the time. And so I really like people to value everybody in the company, not just the rock star developers. And I'd also like to just say, I'd like everyone to do an exercise in the next week. What I also hear is that, a little bit what Andy was saying, is that we work, in technology, work in fast-paced, high-stress environments. And the whole point of management in digital is there's masses of unknown. It's innovative. It's not like we're going to build a house and it needs 4 windows and a door. There's lots of unknowns and lots of uncertainties, and that's what you have to be good at to be in management in digital. But what I see is people aren't very nice to project managers. We're like the they're not. We take all the crap. We take everybody's stress. We've got the outside world with clients being really not nice to us at times, going, I wanted this and you're giving me this. I've paid for this. And no, you haven't. And then we've got you might have senior management having a go at you and having to do it. And everybody's coming at you from all corners. The last thing we need is our colleagues, our friends giving us a hard time. And you do give us a hard time because whatever stress you're feeling, without realizing it, you're taking it out on us, and you don't mean to be taking it out on us, but you are. And you're frustrated because the clients just ask you for something absolutely insane that will take a year and they want it next week. And you're so mad that they could even ask for something so crazy. And you shoot the messenger. The project manager comes up to you, your Scrum Master comes up to you, you're like, don't you know, that's crazy, isn't it? And you're like, right. And it's we don't need it internally. We don't need it. And there's lots of people in digital I know that don't want to be in management in digital because people can be so hard, because of the lack of interpersonal skills in the digital sector. Everyone's just so direct like this without, being considerate. And the exercise I'd like to give you is, in the next week, I'd like you all to listen to the sound of someone's voice when they're speaking to you. Because the sound of someone's voice reveals the emotional truth about what they're really feeling inside. So someone could be in an absolutely shit meeting where, someone's just been screaming at them, and then they come out and they're talking to you, and you're the innocent project manager, and it sounds like they're shouting at you, and you feel really upset, but actually, if you listen to the words, it's got nothing to do with you. Their beef has got nothing to do with you. That emotion is still in them and it's pouring out, and it sounds bad, but it's not meant to be directed at you. And you've just brought that stress into that person, into that meeting. You carried it, you've not just stopped it and let it go. So listen to the sound of someone's voice, because that will tell you what state they're in and how they're feeling. And do it not just at work. Do it. Listen to the sound of your partner's voice when they're talking to you. Listen to your children's voice, like when what are they saying versus what they're really feeling in the sound. When you're going to shop buying some chewing gum, listen to the shopkeeper's voice. And all I'm asking you to do is listen. And that simple exercise gives an extra layer of awareness. And I do it to myself all the time because I can be pretty intense. And I'm like very quick speed talker. I'm like, Mariam, listen, calm down, slow down. Listen to the sound of your own voice. When you're speaking to people, do you sound angry and frustrated? You might be, but you don't want to always come across that way. You might be saying something really important, but you're coming across as really laid back and no one's taking you seriously. So just listen to the sound of your voice and be nice to everyone you work with. But you guys do actually look like a nice bunch of people, I must say. I thought that. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have loads of nerdy-looking developers come in. And then I looked at the reception, oh God, I got my talk all wrong. Everyone's so uber hipster here. I think that's all from me today.